Gardner with Gardner Counseling Services. Why did I decide to write a book on narcissistic abuse? During my professional life and my personal life, I've encountered many individuals that's been involved in self-improvement programs and healing circles. These people participate in many years of individual psychotherapy. Some of them been in groups. Some of them have been leaders. They have facilitated various types of groups and recovery and different types of healing programs. It could be religious or not, or secular, or just various programs. So, and then before I know it, walk through the door. They're crawling through the door, just broken. I call it permanent brokenness, and as if everything else was just wiped away. And so, what I usually do, I usually say, what does your gut tell you? What have you learned about this? And so they usually have the right answer. They have an answer. Well, I'm supposed to have my voice. Well, I'm supposed to speak up. Well, I'm supposed to say no over here. Well, I'm supposed to go with my gut. Well, I'm supposed to trust what I know I'm supposed to do. That kind of thing. It's as if they're seeking some approval, or they need permission to step up and be themselves. So I start noticing this pattern, and I start noticing it on a regular basis. And then I start hearing a word. It starts with an N. The N word. I start hearing the N word here and there. Do you know what the N word is? Narcissist. This person will say, well, my mother was a narcissist. Well, my brother was a narcissist. Well, my spouse is a narcissist, or my ex was a narcissist. I start hearing it on a regular basis, and then I start noticing that was a large group of people where it just wasn't sticking. Something was happening, that recovery wasn't sticking. Healing wasn't sticking. They had the information. They knew what to do. The person's done some work on their, let's say, codependency. They've learned to say no. They've learned to have boundaries. They've learned self-care. They've learned to take care of themselves and not sacrifice all the time. They have done work on their self-esteem. They've done the work looking in the mirror. They've done affirmations. I'm beautiful. I'm enough. I'm strong enough. I'm good enough. That kind of thing. They've done family work. They've looked in their past, and yet they would still hit this broken place. And I start noticing the end. Now, even the person knew something was being missed, but they didn't know what it was. They knew that they needed to do something different and didn't know what it was. They'll say things like that. I want to know, who am I? Who am I? And that was another thing that I noticed. There was an identity issue, a big identity issue. You see, if a person doesn't feel like they have a sense of identity, or doesn't even feel like they belong here on this earth, in this world, then they can look in the mirror and say they're beautiful all day long, or they can say, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, I have a voice. But if there's, what's enough? Who's enough? Who has a voice? Who has a right to say no or yes? Who has a right to enjoy and be all they can be? Even goal setting, who has a right to reach those goals when there is no sense of self? So that was the number one thing that I noticed, is there was not a sense of self. Someone told them that this is the way you dress, this is your favorite color, this is your favorite food, this is what you do, and this is who you are. You are my servant. You are to do what I say, not as I do. What you want is not important. Who you are is not important. It's almost as if there was a nonverbal communication about, you're not a person. Not only are you not important, you're not even a person. So an individual without a sense of self doesn't have their own identity. It's oftentimes they're unaware of their own likes, They're unaware of their own dislikes. They are unaware of their own needs, their wants, their favorites, their favorite food, favorite color, favorite attire, favorite, I don't know, town, favorite house, favorite friend. Sometimes a person, what I've noticed with narcissistic victims, they will think, I've been trying to hang out with this person all this time and get them to like me and win their approval and validation. And I don't even like them. They abuse me all the time. They don't even listen to me. They don't even value me. I never noticed that before. These particular types of relationships are elusive and vague, and the strategies are oftentimes vague. This is my motivation for this book. Although awareness of this devastating impact of narcissism is really growing, it's growing online tremendously. But there is a need for more education, and there's definitely a need for the skills of what to do. Because sometimes a person is doing so much research on the narcissist, they don't learn how to deal with them. So that's where we are today. So there's a spectrum. What about that one? What about that narcissist? And then there are different levels. This one is up here. I'll call it a master narcissist. So I'm going to go into all of that in this particular program. So if you are watching this video or have purchased this course, you are probably left wondering, why do I continue to get stuck and remain stuck in a destructive relationship? Why do I stay with this person that clearly they're hurting me and I'm unhappy? The more accurate question is, why do I bond and attach to people that are so hurtful to me? Why do you bond and attach to people that are hurtful to you? So there you have it. Once again, I welcome you to this program, and I look forward to giving you a tool that will help you on this phase of your healing process. I'm Dee Gardner with Gardner Counseling Services.